I stood behind the ballroom curtain, fingers numb, listening to my husband speak like a hero. The spotlight washed Daniel in cool blue as he pitched his company to investors. My phone was ready inside my palm. In the folder tucked under my arm lay everything: our history, his betrayal, and my revenge flattened into paper. One more slide and I would step out there, end our marriage, and expose him. I could smell coffee, velvet, nerves. He was talking about ethics and trust. The irony nearly suffocated me. Before this moment, our life looked harmless. I'm Emma, 31, a project coordinator at a design studio. Daniel is the co-founder of a fintech startup, Clario. Our apartment was small, filled with plants I kept alive even when our love quietly wilted. He left sweet notes on the kitchen counter, brought pastries home every Friday, and counted my breaths when I couldn't sleep. We dressed up our routine and called it love. My world was stable. My sister, Olivia, my best friend, Grace, and Lucas, the HR guy at Clario who once joked, "If anyone asks you to sign company documents, call me first." We laughed because nothing looked dangerous back then. The red flags came quietly. Daniel took calls on the balcony at midnight, whispering. He started locking his laptop. His phone always faced the table. He said, "I just want to be present." I believed him, though my stomach twisted every time he tucked his screen away. I wish I had listened to that feeling sooner. 2 weeks before everything exploded, he said he had to fly to Chicago for a last-minute meeting with an investor. Overnight trip. He kissed my forehead and said I'd barely miss him. He sent a picture of his flight ticket to reassure me. I zoomed in. A faint watermark read, "Test itinerary." The date looked cropped. I stared at it too long but said nothing. The night he flew, I cleaned our counter, trying to silence the uneasiness. Grace told me on the phone, "You're not paranoid. You're paying attention. If you're wrong, no harm. If you're right, you'll be glad." I wanted to believe I was wrong. The next morning, my iPad lit up. He'd forgotten to turn off sync. His WhatsApp message flashed from Mia Ops. "Booked under Mason, suite confirmed. Don't write on Slack." He replied, "After we sign, she won't even notice." She. My chest went cold. I opened Instagram. His story showed a cup of coffee. No face. When I checked the location metadata, it said Maple Ridge, not Chicago. That was when something inside me snapped. I called Olivia. "I need a ride," I said. "I need you not to ask questions yet." She arrived within minutes. We drove for hours in silence, up through curving mountain roads. Pines on both sides, our tires hissing over asphalt. My heart felt like it was being dragged behind us. The Maple Ridge Grand Hotel looked like a postcard. Warm lights glowed behind tall windows. The lobby smelled like cinnamon and new furniture. I told the desk clerk, "I'm here to meet Mr. Mason." He checked, nodded, and said I could wait. 10 minutes later, Mia entered in a camel coat. Then Daniel walked beside her, grinning like relief. They didn't see me, half hidden behind a giant plant. They walked to the elevator, brushing hands like something casual and old. I followed silently and stepped into the elevator last. I heard her whisper, "After dinner, get her signature. The form is in the folder." He chuckled. "She signs anything when I say it's cap table cleanup." My heart plunged. They were planning to use my name. I stepped out early, held onto the wall, tried to breathe. Olivia squeezed my arm and whispered, "Say the word, and we go." "No," I whispered. "Not yet." We went to the hotel's business center. I logged into his email. His password hadn't changed. Part of me wishes it had. I searched reservation, invoice, authorization. My throat tightened with every result. There it was. Invoice from Maple Ridge Grand, billed to Clario, executive suite, romance package, champagne. I printed 2 copies. I opened another attachment, power of attorney. It authorized Daniel to act for me in line of credit applications. My signature was typed. The edit history showed. Edited by Mia. My fingers shook. Olivia whispered, "We have to go." "We will," I said, with evidence. When we came home, Daniel kissed me and said Chicago was a blur. He seemed proud of his lie, even showed me a magnet souvenir. I felt like I was watching him through a screen. Over the next few days, he acted perfect. He cooked dinner, folded laundry, joked like nothing was wrong. But every time he touched me, I felt like he was touching someone he didn't recognize. I gathered proof silently. I froze my credit. I sent the fake form to a lawyer named Noah. He called back, "This is fraudulent. Don't confront him yet. Document everything." I met Lucas at a cafe. He read the papers, jaw tightening. "The board can be manipulated," he said. "If you quietly hand this to them, he'll spin it. But the big investor pitch Thursday, journalists will be there. If this surfaces publicly, they'll have to act." "I don't want drama," I said. "You want justice," he answered. "Sometimes they look the same." The day before the pitch, I checked Daniel's iPad again. A Slack message popped up. "After you get her signature tonight, move fast. My sister's LLC is ready." My blood ran cold. A shell company, his plan was bigger than cheating. The night of the pitch, the ballroom glittered. Chandeliers, polished floors, investors in expensive suits. My folder lay on my lap. Grace beside me, Olivia behind me, Lucas across the aisle, Noah leaning on the back wall like a quiet shield. Daniel took the stage. He spoke about transparency, trust, governance. His voice filled the room like it belonged there. I stared at him and wondered how many people he'd practiced lying to before me. When the slide changed to ethics, I stood. The room fell silent. He smiled at first, probably thinking I was cheering him on. Then he saw my folder. The smile cracked. I walked to the stage and took the mic. "My name is Emma. I'm Daniel's wife." The room sharpened. I held up the invoice. "This is a hotel bill from the same days he told me he was in Chicago. It includes an executive suite and a romance package." I lifted the WhatsApp screenshot. "This is his operations lead telling him to book under an alias." I showed the power of attorney. "And this authorizes my husband to sign financial documents in my name. It is not my signature." Gasps spread like heat. Reporters raised their phones. Daniel stepped forward. "Emma, let's talk privately." "No," I said. "You lost that privilege." Lucas stood and confirmed that he had previous expense reports and a complaint about fraudulent reimbursements. The board had ignored it. Now, they couldn't. Security escorted Mia out. Her face looked like the truth had slapped her. Daniel stared at me, his face burning with shock and shame. The board recessed. We waited. Noah organized my papers quietly. An hour later, the board returned. The chair announced Daniel's suspension pending audit. The pitch was canceled. Cameras flashed. Daniel passed me later, whispering, "You ruined everything." "No," I said. "I stopped you from ruining me." The audit that followed uncovered more. Shell companies, fake expenses, hotel rooms billed as strategy offsites. The company removed him. We separated. We divorced. One afternoon, I walked past the Grand Marlowe and remembered standing under the lights, telling a room full of strangers the truth. My voice didn't shake that night. It was the strongest part of me. People say, "Don't look into things, it's too complicated." But they really mean, don't look or you'll learn the truth. Look anyway. Keep receipts. Trust your gut. My husband's business trip was fake. I followed him. The truth destroyed our marriage. It also helped me rebuild myself stronger, awake, impossible to fool.